Hey guys, so today we have a mini series of things happening on the internet, mainly TikTok. So follow me on my TikTok where I do little dramas, 60-second recaps, and Instagram, my puppy's Instagram. Subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment for engagement, or you will lose your keys right before you want to leave the house. Even though you shouldn't be leaving the house, but if you're going to the supermarket, essential only, you will lose your keys right before you leave the house and you'll be looking for them in a panic. So today's video is very kindly sponsored by Raycon. So if you want to get 15% off your order, go click the link in the description or go on buyraycon.com/Angelika Oles. Now let's get into what Raycon is. The company was founded by Ray J and it's loved by celebrities and YouTubers alike. They offer a wide range of colors and fits so that it all perfectly fits into your ear. They're super comfortable. They have a 45-day return policy. And now with being able to go on walks and having a puppy, I love my Raycons. I wear them all the time. I take Phoebe to the park and I just put on an audiobook, and I've been flying through my audiobooks and my podcast while just walking her. I won't even notice and an hour has gone by. I love my earbuds. Raycons give you 6 hours of playtime on one charge, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact and comfortable design. They literally fit into your tiny pockets, mainly when you're a woman and you wear women jeans with tiny pockets. Yeah, they fit into those. They also have a noise isolating fit, so I can kind of hear what's happening around me, so I won't get hit by a car, but people don't annoy me and I can actually hear my audiobook even when I'm outside. So like I said, if you want 15% off your Raycons, you can click the link in description or go on buyraycon.com/Angelika Oles. It's an amazing deal for amazing earbuds. Go get yourself some and listen to an audiobook. Now let's get back into spilling the tea. So KVD. Let's start with that story. It's a bit strange. So KVD is a brand that was created by Kat Von D. Kat Von D was like a famous tattoo artist in Miami. She had a tattoo show that she was on, and then she left that parlor and then she started her own parlor, and then she started her own makeup brand, and she was actually friends with Jeffree Star at the time, and they both kind of started brands at a similar time. Jeffree then kind of went on to do his thing. They got into a big argument. Jeffree drops her. She then turns out to be really problematic. Not that Jeffree isn't. Kind of people stopped buying from her brand. They boycott basically the whole thing. So the parent company behind KVD decides to basically drop her and pay off like the rest of her shares and say get out. So now when you're buying from KVD, you're not buying from Kat Von D. Like, she's not making a penny from this. And they started rebranding. First it was KVD Vegan Beauty, so it was a KVD VB. It was really weird. And now they did a rebrand, deleted all pictures, all posts, and they started afresh. And they said, born in an iconic tattoo studio rooted in a dream of unrestrained beauty with a non-conformist and fearless spirit, we started a revolution with tattoo-inspired makeup and limitless creativity. We continue this legacy. Tattoos are the boldest form of artistic self-expression. This deeply personal ink shows the world what's in your heart. A tattoo is the result of something felt so passionately that it actually becomes part of you. Here's what's part of us. We celebrate the individual. We reject conventional beauty standards and sameness. We accept the beauty of our uniqueness and flaws. We give a bleep about the world. We care for our planet and all the beings who inhabit it. We believe outsiders are insiders and stand up for what's right. We create high pigment, high performance makeup inspired by tattoo artistry. We give you the tools to live your beauty truth. We stand for, and then there's like a bunch of Latin words. So it's supposed to be KVD now. It's supposed to be value, truth, beauty. So they found Latin words that start with KVD so they wouldn't have to change it. And it's basically value, truth, beauty, and your truth is valuable and beautiful. We are KVD, tattoo-inspired vegan beauty. That's all good and well. They're rebranding. I'm glad that they're kind of going like a solid direction now, because it felt like they were just not really sure where they're going with this brand. I don't know, it just felt like they didn't really have a plan. It was just like, oh well, we have to continue this now because it's like a brand and we can't like drop it now because we still want to make money from it. Anyway, it just seemed like they didn't really know where they were going with it. What is interesting though is Kat Von D on her Instagram received a comment saying, do you want to say anything about rebranding of your brand? Well, it's not her brand anymore. And she says, I have absolutely nothing to do with that brand, and to be honest, wish they'd changed the name altogether already so I wouldn't be associated with it. Here's the thing, I kind of understand her point, even though she's problematic. I understand where she's coming from, because she's like, I'm not even involved anymore and people are still confused and they think I have something to do with it and they keep on asking me about this brand I'm not even a part of anymore. And for them, I just feel like to still be associated in some way with the problematic past owner of the brand is not a good look, because anyone that isn't kind of like in the know too much about the internet, they kind of know that Kat Von D is problematic, but they might not have all the updates on what KVD is now doing. So they might still go into the stores and see KVD and be like, oh, that's that bad brand that we don't want to buy from. So I just feel like maybe if they just changed up the whole thing, but I do understand they have a bunch of like old packaging they want to use up. Probably like they probably make packaging for years in advance. If it's like staple products that they're planning to have in their range for a long time, they probably make a bunch of packaging. So they probably don't want to make it like go to waste. Now that they're going back to their like tattoo roots, it's even more KVD at that point. Like, they even reposted the old liquid lipsticks on their Instagram. I don't know, I think the whole rebrand is strange because they keep on rebranding, but it's just the same brand again and again. So there really isn't a rebrand. It's just a brand. It's the same thing. Then we have Noah Beck. So Noah Beck had a photo shoot the other day and he had like fishnets and high heels on, and there were like a bunch of different comments. Some people were into it and some people were saying that he was baiting. Now I don't know where I stand on that, so you guys let me know what you think. Like, do you enjoy the, well, I don't know if enjoy is the right word, like do you appreciate him doing that, or do you think you shouldn't be doing this? Like what's the vibe here? Charli D'Amelio. There was an Insider article that came out recently called Charli D'Amelio says she has lost passion for TikTok. TikTok's biggest star, Charli D'Amelio, who has 109 million followers on the app, said she has lost the passion for posting videos. On the podcast that she co-hosts with her sister Dixie D'Amelio called Two Chicks, D'Amelio said she was feeling the impact of negativity. While Dixie is usually present, this episode was hosted by Charli alone. It's extremely difficult to continue posting on a platform where the people that are watching your videos don't actually want to see you, and a lot of the feedback is negative. It's very hard to do that, D'Amelio said. And I just kind of lost the passion for it because it used to be really fun for me. I think that's the case for most content creators regardless of the platform. I think at the start it becomes a hobby. Well, no, at the start it is a hobby and everyone's super positive because it's like a super small community where no one that hates you is there because it's like you're too small to have people that hate you. And then once you get bigger, that's when people are like, oh, I don't like you. And that's when it kind of loses the spark of like, oh, this isn't that fun because people are being mean to me. And I think everyone goes through that phase and then you kind of come out of it again and you're like, whatever, it's fine. So I'm hoping she gets through that phase and then comes out stronger on the other side. But at the same time, I think at this point, she has made enough money where she could leave now and she'd be fine. As long as she's got the money invested, as long as she's buying herself a property, she'll be fine. She made upwards of $10 million last year. She's just fine. And I think she might stick it out for another year. Maybe she's got some contractual obligations or something. But I don't know, do you guys think she's going to leave? Or do you think she's going to stick around and like power through it and then come out stronger on the other side? Or do you think she's just going to give up because she's too young for that kind of pressure? Like, I just don't know what you guys think is going to happen here because I actually am not sure if, like, she doesn't really talk much about her feelings. So I don't know how far she is into, like, dealing with the negativity, if she's, like, coming out of it stronger, if she's closing down and, like, not dealing with it well. But it is very sad to see considering, like, how much she used to enjoy TikTok before it became a job. And now that it's become a job, it's almost like she doesn't like the thing that used to be her favorite thing to do. I don't know, it's just kind of sad to see. Then we have Addison Rae. There's more stuff, obviously Bryce accused of cheating on her, whole situation. Bryce Hall posted this video called The Truth. And I clicked on it expecting it to have something to do with the cheating scandal and it just doesn't. And I find it super disrespectful. And I'm not speaking for Addison here. I think whatever Addison thinks about this, whatever she thinks about this, but in my opinion, this is really disrespectful to be accused of cheating, whether you actually cheated or not, and then clickbait you're cheating to get more views on a video that has nothing to do with cheating is kind of scummy in my opinion. And if I was Addison, I'd be kind of pissed. But I'm not Addison, so I don't know what she's going to do with this. But I find this really disrespectful. I just think it's really strange. You got accused of cheating and you claim you're not a cheater and you're going to use that as clickbait for a video to get more views on a vlog. Okay, sure. So Addison Rae, kind of after that video came out, she tweeted I was shameless. Could that be to do with the video? It kind of seems to match up, if you ask me, it lines up. And then Bryce Hall tweeted, okay, I'm back, after basically apologizing for being inactive and saying that he's now back to normal. I don't know. Addison also tweeted out lyrics to like a song that I'm assuming maybe she's writing, Showing to Make You Smile. And then she tweeted out 1111 again, no with a dot. And then, well, hello, a sad face. And then she posted like a little poem that's like, when it's good, it's great. When it's bad, it's worse. But of all, I haven't got my glasses on again. And you guys told me last time, like when you're trying to read, put on glasses. I didn't do that. So now I'm gonna zoom in again. When it's good, it's great. When it's bad, it's worse. But all of my thoughts are always you first. Then she says, if my life were a movie. So I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but it kind of just seems like Addison's even more pissed now that he's like clickbaiting they're cheating. I don't know. She did post that she was gonna like sort this out offline, but I'm just wondering when they're gonna actually publicly speak about this. So then we have Noah and Dixie, and they were stopped outside of a restaurant by Hollywood Fix, and they were asked about this breakup. And he asks Noah and Dixie, and they're like not properly responding, and they're like, oh, I don't know what to say here. Yeah, like Dixie's like, oh yeah, I spoke to Addison, and like she's okay. We're just hanging out, like trying to like, you know, make it sound like Addison's fine. And then he pans to Noah, and Noah's like he just freezes because obviously he's friends with Bryce, but he's also Dixie's boyfriend and Dixie's friends with Addison, so it's like a really awkward situation to be put in, to have to like answer for them. It was awkward to say the least. Then so there's the BFFs podcast with Josh and Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports, and they did an interview with Quen Blackwell, and she called Bryce a domestic terrorist. And then they were like asking her about the Addison Bryce situation, and she basically said that Addison is like the clown music playing, but she was like, oh, but she's happy, I guess. She basically just called their relationship a circus. They posted bits of it on like social media, and people were dragging her. They were like, first of all, domestic terrorist is not a joke. Second of all, they were like shading her for shading Addison. And then she basically responded, she was like, why are you presenting jokes as facts? It was a joke, leave me alone. So I don't know, do you guys think it was appropriate for her to make that joke? Do you not think it was appropriate for her to make that joke? What do you think? Mainly considering I don't think Gwen and Bryce and Addison are friends, because I think they had like a little bit of beef in the past. So this is kind of even more shady considering they already had beef in the past. Then the last story for today is David. So David Dobrik has been in a lot of heat recently with Seth, Nick and Trisha coming out and talking about their past experiences with David and doing things they were not comfortable doing, because it's like the pressure of not being like the, I guess, the like mood ruiner in the group where you're like, oh, I'll just go along with it because everyone's pressuring me to do that. And Trisha had to be okay with doing inappropriate things, and Seth and Big Nick was just like the big joke of the group. And they all talk about this, and David doesn't speak out at all. Like, he's not responding to this drama at all. If you want more details, people like Spill/T-Spill and Def Noodles have made loads of videos about like every single update that has happened along the way. I've been kind of following along, but I've heard like, you know, both sides of Seth, Big Nick and Trisha, obviously on the Frenemies podcast. I've heard their sides, and it's such a complicated story because it's like they all talk about these situations and it all sounds so similar. Like, you know, they all have very similar experiences in this group. But then you have the other side of David's friends, and they're all defending him and going, well, David's this nice guy and he never would like do anything bad to people. And it just seems like people on the payroll versus not on the payroll. It's like Trish, Big Nick and Seth have nothing to lose anymore. So they're speaking out and they're saying, look, we thought about this and we don't feel comfortable with what's happening over there. Whereas these people are still on contracts, payrolls. They still have some kind of a stake in being friends with David. So they're like, he's a good guy. I promise he's a good guy. It's funny because David's not speaking out about this at all. Instead, he sent Scotty to talk on his behalf in a video. So Scotty films a video. And actually what's quite interesting is David sends in a video of him scrolling through messages with Seth. So like he knows this whole situation's happening. He's looking for proof. So I'm assuming they have like a group chat where they're discussing everything and they're like, you know, calling Seth and Nick and Trisha liars probably in the group chat. So David sends Scotty the video and Scotty puts it into his video. So Scotty's talking on David's behalf, and he starts the video out by basically saying like, David's a great guy. He's always really nice. He never gets angry at people. He only gets disappointed, which is such a weird statement to make. And then he puts in proof for debunking Seth's, Trisha's and Nick's stories. He kind of doesn't mention Nick and Trisha a lot. He only really mentions Seth because I think that's the allegation that everyone is like, what is happening here? And at the start when he posts the video, all the comments are really positive because I'm assuming they're all David and Scotty fans. And that's usually what happens. It's like they start really positive and then other people come in and, you know, they start criticizing the person. And that's what happened. The like to dislike's not great. The comments are calling him out, basically saying like, you're victim shaming. Like how did this make sense to you? Why did you post this thinking it was logical to post this? Corinna actually in the process, when he first posted the video, she was like, oh, this is going to be a good day. And then when he started getting hate, she then goes, oh, my anxiety's back. So I'm assuming they're all talking in the group chat and they were trying to see what the reaction was going to be like, and the reaction wasn't what they expected. Because usually the thing is about David and the Vlog Squad is they do stuff that other YouTubers get cancelled for and they get praised for it. When other people do pranks like setting fire to things in their garden or, you know, whatever it is that people do to make a lot of noise and be basically obnoxious, they get cancelled for it. Jake, Logan, a bunch of those people, they got so much hate for it. David does those things as well and he got praised for it. It was really strange. Switching out friends constantly, like they're in and out the group. Other people get hate for it, he gets praised for it. Even with like Dramageddon 1 and 2 in the beauty community, if you switched out friends too often, you were a clout chaser. With these people, it's just like, oh, well, one day they're here and one day they're not. It's, you know. So there's like a bunch of things that David got away with. Even jokes that were racially insensitive. He apologized on a podcast and no one cared anymore. They were just like, yep. Like none of his fans cared. With other people, obviously, people get really angry. There seems to be a double standard for how David is treated. Even traveling during the pandemic. Everyone has got a lot of heat for traveling during the pandemic, meeting up in the middle of a pandemic. They traveled all the time and no one cared. No one cared. They were just like, oh, cool. I think it's because he was untouchable so much, people were scared to speak up because you would get cancelled for trying to cancel him. Whereas now the bubble's bursting and everyone's like, see, we told you he was problematic and no one listened. He has an app called Dispo, which is supposed to be like Instagram, but disposable pictures that you can't edit or anything like that, and you have to wait for 24 hours for them to develop. And his app is now being flooded with negative reviews, with 1-star reviews, saying things like, take accountability for what you did to Seth, Trisha and Big Nick. And more people are coming out. You are a terrible person. I was once a fan of yours, but I've now had my eyes open. You make me sick. David, you're a monster. David and his vlog squad have serious allegations. And even Bad Baby, Danielle Bregoli, came out and said that she's had a really bad experience with them as well. It's getting deep. This has been evolving. This story has been evolving for a while, and it just seems like now it's coming to like a big end. And I wonder if David's ever going to speak up, because it just seems like he never does. Whenever there's a scandal, he keeps it as quiet as possible. And Scotty actually says that in his video. He says they never address rumors and they never talk about drama because it gives a platform to the other side. David never addresses anything, and I wonder if this is the one time he will, because it seems like the bubble is bursting now. And we'll see what he says. We'll see what happens. That's the tea for today. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time something happens, so that bell will be notified when that's happening. Social media links, any of the links in the description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.